Hello, I just put a GREYWATER laundry to landscape system into my 1,800 square foot Los Angeles house for 180 bucks. So I thought I'd show you how I did it and some of the supplies you might need. As long as you're comfortable cutting and gluing PVC pipe and you're okay drilling a hole into the side of your house, this is something you should easily be able to do yourself. Okay, tools you should already have. Something to cut PVC, something to clean up your PVC with pipe threading tape. You should have a screw gun and a 1.5 inch drill bit, hole saw or spade bit, and of course a shovel. There are two main parts of the project. Inside there's the valve assembly and vent you need to put together, and outside you have to run your watering pipe to your plants and dig little pits or trenches for the water to land in. This is the best illustration I found online. You can Google image search this, and it's a good overview. All right, here's a shopping list of everything I got. You should pause the video and copy this down or get a screen grab, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of run through everything so you can take a look at it on the video right here. All right, I had 50 feet of 1-inch PVC. And then there's the 1 inch to the threaded 3/4 inch PVC tee. Those go to every watering zone you have. And then you need one PVC tee that's not threaded. I'll show you where that is. And then there's a 1 inch PVC elbows. It's as many of those as you need to make the system work in your yard. Okay, that top piece connects your washing machine hose to the brass 3-way valve. That air admittance valve is a plumbing thing. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cheap and easy. And that bottom 3/4 threaded to a 1/2 inch compression is how you connect your drip system into the 1 inch PVC distribution pipe. I'll show you that too. So get some really cheap 1 gallon planting pots. You're going to cut those up a bit. That 1/2 inch inline valve controls the water to your plants, and the 1/2 inch polyethylene hose takes the water from your 1 inch pipe out to your planting area. Okay, the pipe holder holds your valve system together on the wall up near your washing machine. The hose clamp helps attach your washing machine hose to the valve area. And the dreaded 3-way threaded brass valve allows you to turn the water to the sewer in case you're doing something crazy in your washing machine, or out to your landscape if you want to do something nice with your washing machine. And I almost forgot, so don't you forget the PVC pipe cement. All right, step 1 is to figure out your zones. You should have 5 to 8 holes or trenches or watering areas, and you should not plan on going down to this 1/4 inch drip system. It's your water's being pumped out by your washing machine, and it's a very weak pump. You don't want to put any stress on that poor baby pump. All right, satellite view of my house. The red rectangle is my washing machine, and those 7 dots are my watering zones. There's watering zone 1. To the right side of the path, those are 5 watering zones for the various bushes, and the 7th watering zone across the path. All right, the next step is start digging your trenches or holes. This is my first trench, all behind these plants here. 1 trench, hole number 2, hole number 3, combine those 2, hole number 4, number 5, hole 6, and hole 7. And that dirt isn't going back in those holes. I had 4 wheelbarrows full of dirt to put in the side yard. You're going to put mulch back in those holes. You probably want to cut the hole in your house now. If you don't feel like cutting a hole in the side of your house and you want to go through the floor in your laundry room, you could then come out the vent here. If you're not certain how you'd go about doing that, maybe you should have somebody helping you. Okay, I pre-drilled this hole earlier, but this was the bit I used, 1.5 inches. You can see the drilling through your stucco. We'll get rid of all of these cool little ends of your drill bit and ruin it. It was recommended you use a spade bit, but I did not have one that was 1.5 inches. You'll notice you take your 1 inch pipe. It gives you a little play, right? A little wiggle room. I like that. That's what I was going for. A little wiggle room, but then it fits snugly right there. All right, now you should cut and glue all of your 1 inch PVC to run it out from your laundry room to your watering areas. And remember, at each zone, you need to glue in that 1 inch to 3/4 inch PVC tee. 1 inch, 1 inch. I'm going down to 3/4. Threaded 3/4 into a threaded 3/4 pipe. Threading that in there. That's the way I did it. I take the 1/2 inch polyethylene and I press it in. Press the polyethylene in there. Then, drip head. It's a 1/2 inch valve. Bam. I did run that 1/2 inch tubing about 10 to 15 feet a couple of times, but ran into trouble if it did go up any kind of hill. You have to keep that level or downhill. Okay, the final bit of news is that this spigot, by some California code, is supposed to be 2 inches below the surface. And you should have a planting pot, something to cover the valve, I guess. That's what this is for. So I cut it up, put it over there. A little mulch in the bottom. Cover that up. Cover that. Mulch on top. Ooh. All right, the second step in the process is to build this valve assembly here in the laundry room. All right, these are all the components to that valve system. And the brass 1 inch threaded 3-way valve was the hardest piece to come by. I got it online for $49. It was back ordered for a week. I think it was cheaper on Amazon.com after I bought it. Good luck finding it. I didn't have it at hardware stores or plumbing supply stores near me in Los Angeles. On the right, that black air admittance valve or vent is crucial. You can't not do it. It's pretty cheap to get, and it should go right above the pipe that goes down into your landscaping. And the middle is where the washing machine hose will enter the valve system. I did have to use a mat knife to cut the U shape off the end of my hose before I then attached it to the fitting. I did use this board painted white, attached it to the wall in my laundry room just to make the valve attachment to that more secure. So if you're running a load with bleaches or something toxic, you want to turn the valve so that it goes out to the sewer. And then if you've just got a regular load of laundry, you can turn the valve and it goes out into your yard. And here it's running zone 1, zone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 zones running at the same time. Okay, some final notes. This took me 2 days. Could take you less or more depending on who you are. You really got to stick with a 1 inch distribution pipe coming out of your house. I use a PVC because it was easy to find and cheaper than that black 1 inch polyethylene. If you can find it, good for you. I couldn't run into it except for in bulk, really expensively. And then your drip off of there, that 1/2 inch polyethylene, that's as small a pipe as you're supposed to use without messing up your washing machine. And it's big in your washing machine. I'm not a washing machine expert. I'm not a plumber or a really big gardener either. So apparently if you really screw up your system, you can mess up your washing machine. That's what I read online. So be careful with that. I mean, you shouldn't have done that. You seem like a smart person. Also, at the end of your whole distribution line, you're supposed to have this kind of a open pipe just in case every single valve clogs up and the water can shoot out the top of that, save your washing machine. I didn't do it. Maybe you should do it. And I have a really limited distribution of water. A few plants here and there. It doesn't really cover a lot. You know, you should customize it to yourself. Put some hose on there and move it around each load if you want to, or just run it to your garden. I don't know. You know, this is the way I did it. I wanted to share all the little steps because I didn't see a video like this online. So I hope this helps you out a little bit. And, you know, have fun, save the planet and stuff.